Hi, I'm Casey and I have a crush on food. And today I have a crush on crunchy fish sticks. In a house that has adults and children, it's not always easy to satisfy everyone, but these crunchy fish sticks do. And I can give you some tips on how to dress them up a little bit more for the adults while still making them perfectly suitable for the kids. So I'm going to start with about a pound of cod. I have some cod here that I just cut into strips, but you can also use grouper. I like grouper. It's a nice firm fish too. You got to use a firm fish when you're making fish sticks. You can also use halibut or tilapia. It's up to you. So I just cut them into strips and I season them with salt and pepper. And the next thing that I'm going to do is mix up the kind of coating for them. So in this large bowl I have a cup and a half of all-purpose flour and 1 tablespoon of dry mustard powder, which you can find in the spice aisle at your grocery store, and it's like in a giant yellow container, so it's hard to miss. And to this I'm going to add 2 eggs and 2 cups of buttermilk. I'm just going to whisk this up, then I'll be ready to coat the fish. I'm done mixing and it kind of makes almost like a paste. So if you want to make these a little more adult, you could put a pinch or 2 of cayenne pepper in the paste mixture, and that'll definitely, adult them up a little bit. So 1 at a time or 2 at a time, just take your strips and dip them in this paste. And then I have 3 cups of panko breadcrumbs here, and you're just going to roll each strip in here. And then I just like to put them on some parchment paper until they're ready to cook. So that is the process. And I'm going to continue on with all of my strips until they're all coated. So I coated all of my fish and I preheated the oven to 300 degrees, and I'm going to stick this baking sheet in there. It has parchment paper on it that I just brushed with a little bit of oil. We're actually going to cook the fish in a pan, but because we're cooking in batches, I like to transfer it to a hot pan in the oven just so it can stay hot and crispy. So I'm going to stick this in the oven. Gently. And I have a good sized skillet here, and I have it on a medium to medium high heat. It really just depends probably on your stove and your skillet, but sometimes when you're cooking or pan frying, the coating can get dark too fast, so you might have to lower the temperature. I'm going to use coconut oil, but you can also use canola oil. Any oil that you can heat to a high temperature, that's what you want to use. So I'm just going to put a couple of spoonfuls in here. Probably I would start with 1/8 to 1/4 of a cup if you're going to use canola oil. Just coat the pan and then start with your fish sticks. Once you brown them on one side, don't forget to flip them over and brown them on the other side as well, so that both sides are nice and brown. Once both sides are nice and brown, you can stick them in the oven and do the second batch. Alright, I am finished with the fish sticks. They look super delicious and crunchy. And the great thing about these is that if you want to make like crunchy fish tacos, you could definitely put them in some corn tortillas with some coleslaw, punch them up with some avocado and a little bit of something spicy if you want. Or you could just dip them in some tartar sauce or ketchup. It's probably what the kids will do. So these are very versatile and they're really good. So I hope that you make my crunchy fish sticks and you love them.